Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for Mainnet 2024. This is our 5th year of Mainnet and our 4th year of doing it in person here in New York City. So thank you to everyone again for joining us. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping make sure that this event could happen. I had a good bit about how we finally broke the trend of the markets dumping when we have a crypto conference. Wrote this last night, great jokes, was feeling really good about it. Woke up this morning, Bitcoin's down 3%. So trend keeps going. But in all seriousness, I think this year has been incredibly exciting for the industry. We started the year with the Bitcoin ETFs. We've seen incredible inflows into those. We've seen adoption and traction for things like stablecoins, tokenized assets. We've actually seen regulation around the world start to take shape, like MiCA in the EU. And here in the US, we've even seen crypto become a hot topic in the world of politics. So we actually have a really good couple of sessions this afternoon on that topic. So I get a lot of questions on why do we host this event in New York? Why not do it somewhere else, somewhere maybe more exotic, somewhere that's a little bit cheaper? But in reality, when we think about the future of this industry and where we're going to see that next leg of adoption, it's going to come from true end users and users on the consumer side in apps, end users in DeFi, which is a big reason why we have it in New York, bringing together the investors and TradFi with all of the crypto builders. So it's really important to us that we have this event here, that we keep crypto strong here in New York and here in America. So you'll see that reflected in a lot of the programming that we have today, how to make this real and how to make it strong here in the US and abroad to some degree. So I hope everyone has a chance to walk around, check out the booths. We have the macro stage here, so this is going to be fireside chats and some panels. We have the operator stage over there. That's going to be for a lot of founder-led conversations and project deep dives. The Messari booth is right over here, so you'll get a chance to talk to the Messari team. Please stop by, check out some of the awesome new things that we've launched, give us some feedback. And I think you've all found it over here. We have food and beverage, so you have breakfast out there, and you're going to have lunch later on. So I'm excited to meet with everybody, excited to walk around, excited to see everybody at the booth, and excited to get started with the programming. But before we get going and before we dive into everything, I want to share something that we've been working on all year that I'm personally very excited about, and here it is.
Crypto is a complex, noisy mess of overwhelming, unstructured data and constant crisis. Introducing Messari Copilot, your curated guide through the madness of crypto. Finding what you want in the sea of crypto data, even within Messari, can be way too time-consuming. Messari's Copilot is purpose-built for crypto research from the ground up, on top of the most comprehensive dataset in crypto. The Copilot is built on Messari's massive dataset, covering news, market and price data, network metrics, key events and topics, fundraising data, industry podcasts, social media posts, and Messari's quarterly reports, diligence reports, and annual theses, all contextualized by our best-in-class research. Plus, Copilot's data is fresh within 15 minutes of real time, and it's cleaned and structured for crypto, giving you quantitative and qualitative answers you'll actually find useful. Get rich answers that include inline citations in linked sources, diagrams, charts, and other visualizations in data tables. Not sure what to ask next? Copilot guides you through your deep dive by suggesting related questions for you. Discover trending questions. Keep track of your conversation history and share your answers. Copilot's answers are driven by fresh data, distilled by our team of specialists and shaped by Messari's expert research. See Copilot in action at the Messari booth and transform your research today.
What's up, Mainnet? What's going on, everyone? I'm Jim Iscaros, Messari's VP of Product, and today I'm thrilled to share what our team has been tirelessly working on over the past few months. Introducing Messari Copilot, your AI assistant for crypto. Copilot delivers crypto intelligence on demand, all cited with Messari's trusted research and up-to-date data sets. Copilot represents a significant leap forward in the evolution of the Messari product. It was specifically designed to streamline some of the most critical workflows in crypto. Today, I'll highlight a few ways Copilot was designed to make your life easier. Let's start with news and current events. For anyone working in crypto, keeping up with major news events is one of the most time-consuming tasks we face daily. Recently, MakerDAO was in the news as they underwent a massive project update with their formal rebrand to Sky. Let's ask Copilot to summarize what I need to know about those changes and see if we can understand the token conversions that took place. All right, so let's dive into the demo here. I'm going to expand Copilot, go to our full screen view, and I'm going to start with a question about the MakerDAO rebrand. I'm going to say summarize the details of MakerDAO to Sky rebranding event and what and how does this fill into Maker's endgame strategy that we've heard so much about. All right, so Copilot's back with an answer here, and you can see that the first section is going to be about the MakerDAO to Sky rebranding event, and then as you scroll down, the second section of the answer here is about how it fits into Maker's endgame strategy. And one of the first things you're going to notice is all these little blue numbers at the end of our sentences here. These are citations, and this is a big differentiator for Copilot. We are source grounded. So Copilot will not give you insights unless it can back them up with source materials, allowing you to go deeper down the rabbit hole if you should choose. You can hover over any of these citations or scoot down to the bottom and see the source section. And you can see, in order for us to bring that answer to you, we checked on asset profiles that we had for Sky Protocol. We checked our Intel events that we had for the governance token. And then we also used our news events that we had for a couple different news articles here. We also pulled some information from our diligence report on Maker, and we even have a video talking about the rebranding event too. So you can watch this video or go through the summary. The other thing you'll notice at the bottom too is the two related questions. These questions are personalized for your questions and answer. Copilot will bring back two additional questions that we think you can go down the rabbit hole deeper if you should choose. You can just click on these and Copilot will have a follow-up question with those. Now, Messari Copilot is the most efficient way to quickly synthesize events and summarize news in crypto, even those from just 15 minutes ago. Let's use Copilot to understand what I missed at the recent Solana conference. All right, so Solana Breakpoint was about 2 weeks back. I wasn't in attendance, but I can ask Copilot about any of these industry events. So I'm going to just ask it, recap the Solana Breakpoint 2024 event and highlight any notable talks. And just like that, Copilot has the recap for me. It goes through and gives me an overview of the event. It calls out key highlights and innovations, talks about some notable talks and announcements, and even some future outlooks. Again, it cites a number of different external news articles that you can read deeper if you should choose, or read the summaries if you want. Or we can actually watch some of the conference videos directly from the answer here. So you're able to just play these session videos or read our summaries to save some time. So super helpful, and just a reminder that our data in Copilot is fresh as of 15 minutes ago, which is awesome to cover breaking events. Now that we've seen how Copilot can help keep you up to date, let's dive into research. Messari is known for its best-in-class research. Our new Copilot allows you to effortlessly cast an industry-wide net and deeply research any crypto topic with ease. Copilot is the ideal starting point for your research and the perfect tool to dive deeper. Let's give it a try. So recently, I heard about a new restaking protocol called Symbiotic, and I want to ask Copilot to tell me a little bit more about this. I'm only familiar with EigenLayer, a different restaking protocol. So you can ask Copilot these comparison questions, and it can be really useful for you to provide some insights. So just like that, I asked, tell me about Symbiotic, and how does this project compare to EigenLayer? Copilot's returned with a nice breakdown of Symbiotic. It talks about the key features of Symbiotic, a little bit about the token, and then it goes into the overview of EigenLayer, and then it has a really rich section about the comparison between the two, from similarities and differences, as well as providing some recent developments about the two. You can see that it's all fully sourced, and we're pulling from our rich asset profiles, as well as our diligence reports, as well as some wider industry news articles for some of those recent developments. This is really interesting, a lot of information here, but obviously I can't read it on the fly right now because I'm doing a demo, but let me ask Copilot a follow-up question. So Copilot supports follow-up questions for as many as you have, and the cool thing about follow-up questions is it retains the context of your question and answer, so you don't have to repeat things. So I'm gonna ask Copilot a follow-up question here. Can you summarize the difference in a table? So Copilot's going to think about it for a second. It's going to use the context from above. It's going to check all of our qualitative and quantitative structured data sources, and it's going to come back with our first citing of a dynamic table. And this is another cool feature of Copilot. So this table here, which I can stretch out, is not found anywhere in our product. This was created on the fly for your answer. Copilot came back with a 3-column table, one related to features, one related to Symbiotic, and one related to EigenLayer, breaking things down very easily for me at a glance. I can go deeper here with the sources just like anywhere else. And just at a glance, it looks like Symbiotic supports more collateral options than EigenLayer, which is beyond Ethereum, which is really cool. So I can go deeper down the research rabbit hole if I wanted to right here. But Copilot was super useful in getting to that information. Next, how many of you have ever read a Messari research piece and came across a useful visual or a chart only later to forget where you found it again? Copilot can help not only find, but also understand these research visuals. Let's try to find the latest Messari DPIN sector map with Copilot. So I'm going to start with a question for Copilot. And if you've ever read Messari research, you know that it's filled with really rich graphics, tables, diagrams, sector maps like we're talking about here. And Copilot can help retrieve those for you. So I'm going to ask a question. Tell me about the latest DPIN developments, and please be sure to include the latest DPIN sector map. Just like that, it has a summary of the recent developments. And if I scroll down, in the source section, it grabbed the latest sector map for me. So this is awesome. I didn't have to go digging for this. I didn't have to look through past research. It provides it as a source, but what you could see here is it actually uses it as a citation. So the really cool thing about this answer is that this section here actually describes what's in the sector map. It breaks down the image and understands the insights from it. And this is the really powerful thing about Copilot is it doesn't just retrieve images or inject them into your answers. It helps you understand them, and it can help dissect the images to go deeper. So super useful and really a game changer for understanding Messari research. You could see that it pulled from our research articles, some new research reports, some news articles, our fundraising data rounds for some of the recent development activity above. And then it actually pulled from our new feature, which launched last week, our topics feature, which bundles a number of different like-kind news articles under one cohesive topic. So I highly recommend you guys check out the topic feature as well that went live under news. So super useful in understanding visuals and going deeper on research. Now, sometimes research in crypto calls for time-consuming data aggregations from multiple sources. Copilot has access to all of Messari's structured data, making these aggregations an ask away. So let's say you've been tasked with trying to find a couple of different metrics about some popular networks. Maybe you're looking for the average transactions per second and total fee revenue, but just from last month, and you only want it for Ethereum, Base, Solana, and Bitcoin. Normally, you'd have to jump through a number of different tools or different products to get this information, download it, and potentially manipulate it in another tool. Not anymore. Copilot lets you just ask the question. And what it's going to do here is it's going to sense that we're talking about 4 different networks, and it's going to realize that it has to go and do a data aggregation. It has access to our structured network metrics. It's going to go to our network metrics and pull these calculations for you and return them. So here's the answer. You can see it has 2 figures for each network, all fully cited, pointing to our network data set and saving me a lot of time, which is super useful. So that's research. How about fundraising? Messari's fundraising data set is the best in the industry. Copilot now makes it super easy to surface signal and investment narratives in crypto. Let's see if we could find exciting new projects by seeing where notable investors have co-invested. So if you're like me, you like to pay attention to where VCs in the space put their money. Well, with Copilot, you can find out like-kind projects that took investments from notable investors. We're going to ask a question like, what companies have both Coinbase Ventures and Paradigm on their cap table, and then do a sort based on recency of investments. Copilot is able to understand that this is a question that's going to require our fundraising data set. It's going to go and look in our structured data and come back with an aggregated answer for us here. And just like that, we have another dynamic table sorted by recency of investment with a couple projects that we probably should be paying attention to. So from here, you can start with another follow-up question, go a little deeper about these projects, but it just shows you that Copilot has full access to the structured data of our fundraising product. How about someone doing business development in the crypto industry looking for prospects? Copilot can be a great time saver when doing lead gen. So let's say you've been tasked with potentially inbounding to a couple of projects in the space. Maybe you have a product that you could sell to gaming companies in the space. You can use Copilot to generate these lead lists. We can ask a question like, please tell me all the gaming questions that raised more than $5 million, but only in 2024. And then please list the funded entity name, round, amount raised, and date. And just like that, Copilot, again, is going to realize that it needs to reach into our funding data set, and it has a couple of pieces of criteria that it needs to care about. It's only going to pull back investments greater than $5 million, and then it needs to time limit it to 2024. And you can see in the response, that's exactly what it did. It's pulling the projects that have raised more than $5 million in 2024, and it gave us another dynamic list that I can use for prospecting. Now, this is great. Maybe this is something that I want to share with my team. You can use Copilot's built-in share functionality to do that. You go up here, you click the share button, and you create a custom link, and you can now send this to your team or coworkers and potentially tag team this to inbound to these prospects, which saves a ton of time. So clearly, it's really useful for fundraising. What about when there's no room for wrong answers or hallucinations, like when doing due diligence? Messari is a market leader in the crypto compliance space, helping professionals perform in-depth reviews of assets with our diligence product. Copilot supercharges any due diligence process by freeing our asset diligence data to be used in ways not possible today. So we constantly get feedback that people love our diligence reports, but all the time I'm asked, do you have a report that maybe shows multiple assets or cross assets? I really like that the information that's in a diligence report, but I want to understand how it benchmarks against other assets. Well, Copilot can break down these barriers for you. You can ask questions like, compare and contrast the native asset functions of BitTensor versus Render, 2 AI projects in the space, and Copilot can get you this answer on the fly. You can see that it came back with a full breakdown of how the tau asset's used for BitTensor and what the functions are, the tokenomics of that project, and then the same thing with Render. It also gave us a key differences section. Everything's fully cited with high-quality sources using Messari data, and you can see it even retrieved an image from earlier this year where there was a research report talking about how BitTensor overtook Render to be the sector leader in the AI narrative. Down below, you can see that it drew from our asset profiles, our intel events, our research reports, a couple different industry news articles, and of course, pulling from multiple sources from our diligence reports to answer this question with the best trusted data. Now, ongoing and real-time monitoring of assets is a critical activity that many of our infrastructure customers do daily. Copilot can be a critical tool to ensure that you have all the information you need about important and time-sensitive changes to assets under your watch. Sometimes, however, the most important decisions come in informal settings, like on developer calls. Copilot is always tuned in, so you don't have to be. Okay, so if you follow Ethereum, you know that a lot of important decisions happen on there are 2 developer calls that happen fairly regularly. We could ask questions like, outline what was covered in Ethereum's most recent consensus and execution developer meetings. So go and find the latest in both of those meetings and let me know what happened in them. Copilot recognizes that it needs to use firsthand sources for this, so it's going to draw upon the transcripts and summaries of these videos themselves. And you could see that it came back with a bulleted breakdown of what happened in the consensus meeting from September 19th and the execution meeting from September 12th. It also gave us some color from others on what their takes are for the latest calls. You can also even watch these full developer calls directly in here too. So this is just representative of Copilot is tuned in to the industry podcasts and videos, so it saves you a lot of time. So with Copilot, you can take back time and eliminate hours of firsthand listening while still monitoring important videos or industry podcasts. These examples only scratch the surface of the power of Copilot. Be sure to stay tuned for many more significant Copilot abilities in the near future. Now, over to Duran Lee, Messari's CTO. Thank you.
Thank you for that fantastic demo, Jimmy. Now, let me tell you why Messari Copilot is not just another AI assistant. It's a game changer for crypto professionals like you. First, Copilot is trustworthy and transparent. It retrieves information from our curated data, all quality controlled by our expert team. And with citations for every output, you can trust but verify the information that you receive. Second, it offers in-depth data coverage. Copilot taps into Messari's expansive data warehouse, 30 terabytes of structured and unstructured data, giving you a 360-degree view of the crypto landscape, from exclusive research and market intelligence to on-chain metrics and fundraising data. And finally, Copilot is built for crypto professionals. We designed it with power users in mind. Our advanced AI tool integration means you get rapid, accurate insights, giving you the speed and efficiency you need to stay ahead in this fast-paced industry. But don't just take my word for it. Experience the full power of Copilot yourself. To make it even better, we've already upgraded all Mainnet attendees with Messari accounts to Pro for a free month. It's active right now, so you can start exploring Copilot immediately. If you don't have an account yet, scan the QR code on the screen or visit us at the booth right over there to get your exclusive free month. This is your chance to unlock all that Copilot has to offer and see firsthand how it can revolutionize your workflow. Thank you, and we can't wait to see what you'll accomplish with Messari Copilot.